Chapter 106, Team 2's much more difficult to deal with than Team 5. According to the analysis of his profile, there was definitely something fishy about Chongqing's net worth. However, these would not be enough to directly incriminate him. They still need to gather what this guy had done in the past. After returning to his office, Li Chao's group brought over the books of all 5 casinos and said, "Boss, the financial conditions of all 5 casinos are here. Other than the inflow source and outflow destination of the cash which we couldn't find, all of their profit and liquidity data are here." Then, Su Cheng began taking a look at the information. Not long after, Wu Gang and the others pushed open the door and came in, immediately saying, "Boss, you were right. They are actually preparing a poker tournament in a week. Our eye on their inside got the news. By then, a lot of gambling masters will join, and many wealthy people would be attending this tournament to bet on those masters as they battle. It's estimated that the amount of cash that's going to be involved in this event will be very large. Just like you said, this could very much be the stage for them to launder money." Su Cheng immediately announced to everyone, "Li Chao, continue to keep an eye on the inflow and outflow of all accounts inside the casino, including overseas check and saving accounts. Wu Gang, continue to keep an eye on the 5 legal representatives and report to me the moment they go anywhere." Li Chao, "Yes, sir." Wu Gang, "Yes, sir." At night, outside of Chongqing's villa that was located on the outskirt of the city, Su Cheng parked his car by the road with the headlights off, and only the cigarette butt he was holding was still emitting some light. He took a smoke, laid back onto the chair, and his eyes were still watching everything that was happening inside the villa. He had a feeling that he didn't have to go anywhere, because this Chongqing guy would be the key. After keeping watch for about an hour, all Su Cheng saw was Chongqing doing stuff in the bedroom while the chefs prepared dinner in the kitchen. Not long after, 3 Maybachs drove into the villa gate. Su Cheng immediately became energetic, and his eyes were fixed onto those 3 cars. 3 old men got out from the cars, and Su Cheng quickly sketched down the faces of those 3 elders. They were about the same age as Chongqing. Seeing Chongqing coming out to greet them, Su Cheng figured that their positions in the organization were probably equal. Su Cheng suddenly remembered the rumor that there were 4 hidden kings behind West Gate, instead of just 1 boss. He had a feeling that this rumor could very be real. Those 4 guys were all about the same age, and if they had been working together for a long time, then they should be the 4 kings of West Gate: Azure Dragon, White Tiger, Vermilion Bird, and Black Tortoise. The Azure Dragon tattoo that Chongqing revealed earlier was a good supporting piece of evidence, so now, did the other 3 also have tattoos? At the thought of this, Su Cheng's eyes became more and more focused as his pupils became an even darker color. No one noticed that when he used his penetrating vision, his pupils would become darker with a glimmer of light. After increasing the strength of the penetration ability, Su Cheng filtered out the clothes on those old men, and unsurprised, he spotted those tattoos. Now, there was the Vermilion Bird tattoo, the White Tiger tattoo, but when he looked at the elder that was supposed to have the Black Tortoise tattoo, he noticed that the tattoo was actually smeared. At this moment, Chongqing led the other 3 to an open-air dining space in the backyard, and the dining utensils and wine had already been set up on the table, with a sparkling pool by the side. As they sat down, Chongqing laughed and lifted his glass. "Come on, cheers for the big order next week." Then, the other 3 also lifted their glasses and clanked them together at the middle of the table. From their conversation, it could be concluded that they were the controllers behind Westgate's money laundering case. As for those 5 legal representatives, they were indeed just puppets that did the surface work. As long as those 5 legal representatives had good public images, the police wouldn't be able to get anything, since the actual cancerous tumors were these 4 people. "Boss, I heard that the police got their eyes on us again." Vermilion Bird asked curiously. Chongqing shook his hand. "Nothing to fear. Team 5 had been after us for over 6 months and they couldn't get anything. I heard that it's Team 2 that took over the case, and all of their activities are under our control. They don't even know that they are being toyed around by us. Haha, thank God for this era of internet communication. We can hide, but as official figures, the police officers can't at all, and the moment there's any activity, it would immediately be blown up by the media. Nothing to fear?" Su Cheng sneered, and then he started the engine and drove up to the gate. The security was a bit curious as to who came. Then, when he saw the man that came out of the Santana, he frowned. Before he could speak, Su Cheng directly took out his ID and said, "I received a report that there's a gathering here planning illegal activities. The security guard said with a blank expression, "Sorry, you made a mistake. This is a private residence." Su Cheng didn't give him the chance to continue talking at all as he already walked into the gate. The bodyguard wanted to stop him, but who knew that the moment he put his hand on Su Cheng's arm, Su Cheng would have already caught onto his hand and twisted it, causing the bodyguard to begin sweating from the pain. "If you dare to interfere, then I can arrest you for hindering law enforcement," Su Cheng warned. At this moment, that Neil guy from the international security company walked over and said, "I will also file a lawsuit against you for trespassing without the proper warrant and uniform. I have remembered your badge number, and I will file a complaint to your superior." Su Cheng glanced him, smiled, and replied, "Fine, I will leave first." Just as he got to the gate, Su Cheng turned around and looked Neil in the eyes. "Mr. Neil, has anyone warned you in the past to not extend your business into Huaxia? Or you will regret it." Neil's eyes narrowed as he watched Su Cheng smile and leave. Su Cheng just wanted to pay a casual visit to let the four old men inside know that the police already had their eyes on them. "Don't you guys think you are hiding so well? I'm just here to tell you to get your head out of your ass." After he left, a bodyguard immediately went into the backyard to report. The four old men that were in the middle of enjoying this meal frowned. "Which police officer?" "Got it. He's the new captain of Team 2, the guy in charge of investigating the money laundering case." The bodyguard looked at his phone and said, "You probably know him too. He's the guy that got promoted after killing Gate Master Yan." "Him?" The four old men slightly paused for a moment. "He's still not dead? What the fuck is that little Cheen brat doing? Didn't I tell him to take care of that guy?" The bodyguard sighed and replied, "The whole hitman group got arrested." The four old men were shocked. Then, one of them opened his mouth and asked the other three, "Did our information get exposed?" Chongqing narrowed his eyes and replied, "Not necessarily. It might just be a coincidence. Go ask Little Sin, see if he got tailed and if that is the reason that our location was exposed." At this moment, Neil came in and joined the conversation. "He also got my identity, as well as the company that I'm employed by. It seems like Team 2 is a lot more difficult to handle than Team 5. If the four of you want to enjoy peace, then it's best if you get rid of this person." The four old men looked at each other, as if they were still unable to process how they were all exposed.